Coinbase is going public at the Nasdaq. Should you buy as well or leave this one for the crocodiles? We discuss the chances, the risks, and guide you on what you can do. Hi, my name is Till and this is the channel that shows you how to invest intelligently and how you build up a fortune as a private person. When you're new here, hit the subscribe button and ring the little bell for not missing any new videos. The going public of the cryptocurrency trading platform Coinbase is probably the hottest IPO of this year so far. Coinbase will start for a price of circa $91.5 billion for the whole company. Is Coinbase really worth that price? We will give you an overview about the chances, the risks, and discuss what you can do now. The chances. Chance number one, the growth of the cryptocurrencies. The classic finance industry might not have accepted them completely yet, but cryptocurrencies definitely are one of the hottest things in the financial world at the moment. The growth of the Bitcoin price in the past 8 years has been spectacular. So it might be the most natural thing to try to participate in this development and try to jump on the already rolling train. Chance number two, buying the shovel seller. Cryptocurrencies become a more and more accepted form of payment. Globally available, cheap, not regulated. So there currently really is a kind of a gold rush running. And the trading platforms definitely belong to the class of the shovel sellers. The name is a reference to the companies who actually profited from the gold rush in the 19th century, as they provided the equipment which was necessary for the gold miners to do their work. And the trading platforms provide the equipment for the traders to do their work. Chance number three, the hype. As a value investor, I don't really like this chance, but the hype around the cryptocurrencies itself is a big chance. This has to be admitted. It is of course another question if you're able to forecast how long this hype will continue to last. The sheer run on it and the fact that there are still a lot of people out there that are not infected by it is an opportunity. The risks. Risk number one, the price. Is Coinbase worth $91.5 billion? When you already watched some videos from this channel, you know by now that the value of a company lies entirely in its future. I think it is not enough to just point to other online companies that appear to be high priced at their IPO, when later, in hindsight, it turned out that those prices had been in fact really cheap. Like for example, Facebook or YouTube, WhatsApp, etc. You have to ask yourself if you're able to project with some certainty that the discounted free cash flow that Coinbase is going to generate in its entire future is going to be much more than the $91.5 billion the company costs as a whole today. By the way, the 2020 turnover, not the free cash flow, was $1.2 billion. There has to be a lot of growth in the future for a long time to justify this stock price. Risk number two, fluctuations at Bitcoin, Ethereum, etc. The past month and years already showed it. The cryptocurrencies go up and down like crazy. Whatever the reasons for these fluctuations might be, they increase the risks for the trading platforms. Less price for the cryptocurrency means less turnover and less profit. Less users who have been scared by further crash also mean less turnover and less profit. This of course can also go into the other direction. The question for you should be if you're able to predict this development with a level of certainty. Risk number three, increasing competition. There are already several other platforms where you can trade cryptocurrencies. And supplying services for a hot topic means that it usually attracts several other competitors who also want their piece of the cake and who also want to participate in that growth. Of course, as Master Yoda said, impossible to see the future is. But there has been one lesson from most online endeavors in the past. The winner takes it all. Risk number 4, the cost structure. Coinbase is definitely not the price leader between the different crypto trading platforms. But in this early stage, this is not necessarily a bad sign. Using the general market situation with maybe not complete cost transparency for all customers for its benefit to generate more cash could be a smart move. But the risk is somewhere else. In their IPO prospectus, they warn themselves that their costs will likely go up because they will have to hire new employees, invest in marketing, structures, etc. Apart from the credibility of the platform and cryptocurrencies in general, the business will depend on the costs of operations they have and the costs per trade they achieve. The product is highly exchangeable. For a customer, it doesn't matter if he trades on one platform or the other. The costs and the consequential possibilities to win the price war will probably decide on who will win this game. Risk number 5, potential regulation. Cryptocurrencies are not regulated. That's part of their DNA. And as their transactions are also nearly impossible to trace, it is pretty much commonly known that a lot of the world's organized crime and shady businesses find them very attractive as a primary way of global payment. By my estimation, there have been so far mainly 2 factors why this wasn't regulated by the authorities of the world. Number 1, the global economic impact had just been too small. And number 2, the technical challenges to put these cryptocurrencies in chains are still and continue to be huge. But regulating the trading platforms is by far easier, especially when they are based on the territories of the Western world. Personally, of course, I can't specify how big this risk is, but it may change the whole nature of the current crypto business once the governments of the world begin to perceive them as a threat. Risk number 6, the risk of operating business. There are a lot of other risks that may not be immediately apparent to everybody. I summarized them under the term risk of the operating business. To this belong the risk of cyber attacks or technical risks, and the dependency of only a few customers. Coinbase themselves warn that a major part of their revenues depend on only a small quantity of customers. There are further risks that I do not want to elaborate on to keep this video rather compact. What you can do now. My personal opinion is that IPOs in general are a high risk that is usually too big for me to take. And this is because there are 2 major reasons for a company to do an IPO. Number 1, to generate a lot of cash for the people who owned the business so far. Number 2, to generate a lot of cash for potential future growth. This isn't a problem in general, because it is part of capitalism that sellers want to generate as much as possible with what they sell. The problem is the asymmetrically distributed information. IPOs are usually done by younger companies, and at a point in time there just isn't much experience about the business and the company available yet. The sellers know the company and the business already longer, as they owned it so far. For other companies that are listed already longer on the stock exchanges, there is usually much more experience and information available. This all doesn't mean that I recommend not to buy it or to buy it. It is only important what your analysis and data tell you. When you really want to buy it, you should be able to assess and quantify the before-mentioned risks and chances. You should make a projection of the future cash flows that you estimate as realistic and discount them until today. Deduct a margin of safety from what you consider as a fair price. The size of that should depend on how comfortable you are with the assessed risks. You do not have to be in every stock to make a fortune. I know it's hard not to get excited by the prospect of missing another boat. The marketing experts really do a great job with selling this to us. But remember that there are plenty of other boats out there. For making a fortune, it's just important that you really know the businesses you're investing in and that you're able to predict with a level of certainty their future development and how much cash the business will generate in the future. When you then buy them in a situation where there's an information asymmetry in your favor, oh yes, this can happen, and when you're offered a really cheap price, then you will make a lot of money with your investment in the long run. Let me know if you consider to invest in Coinbase and what you think about the risks and chances. Drop your opinion and comments in the comment section below the video. When you like the video and when you want to know more about how to build up a fortune and how to invest intelligently and successfully, hit the subscribe button and ring the little bell for not missing any new videos. The links to this video you will find as usual in the box below the video. And further videos on how you become a better investor are linked on the left and the right or the other way around in a few seconds. I wish you a lot of success with your investment activities and see you in the next video.